All right, and we are live. Welcome back, everybody. I am back in my stairwell, so that's fun. And tonight we're playing a new campaign. It will be my first time on the player side of things.
And my first time on the GM side of things, so let's see how it goes. We've had a lot.
Yep.
I've had lots of fun learning how to be a player, so
Yep,
I'm
I'm
hoping it's
definitely
going to be a lot
excited,
of
and
fun.
finally got my replacement copy, so that's exciting. No more
Yes.
dicking with the shitty PDF. So a little background for everybody that's watching, so you kind of know the setup of our game. I am playing the Jack Bauer inspired Daunlen Trine. He started as a criminal, was caught at early manhood, arrested. The king decided that rehabilitation is better than sitting in prison and offered me a job in the city guard to use my talents to root out the criminal element. In his 20-year reign, he has essentially is very well on his way to creating a utopia. He's almost completely eradicated crime. He's working on eradicating drugs. People are flocking here, but this is pissing off all of the other criminal elements in the neighboring countries because all of their business is heading there and they see a big opportunity for profit if they can corner that market. So there have been about 10 assassination attempts on this king's life. And each time they get closer and closer to success. So the king has tasked me, his best guard captain, with going undercover to root out the men behind this plot and put a stop to it. To do so, we have faked an attempt on the king's life. I've been incarcerated for it. Due to my years of service, they spared me the hangman's noose. And we are starting our game with my first day in prison. With,
That's
well, I
correct.
suppose we could go over beliefs and whatnot.
Sure.
So, beliefs. Oh, stop that. Stop that. It is my duty to find the men responsible for these attacks. I must stop at nothing. I shall start by making contacts in the underworld.
Hmm.
Innocent life is the most valuable thing in the world. I must protect it at all cost. While prison helps to endear my credibility, I can't do much from here. I must escape. And as for instincts, they're all short, sweet, to the point. When accused, lie. Always be aware of your exit. And animals are adorable. Always befriend them.
Excellent.
Even Jack Bauer needs a human element to him.
That's true. All right. So shall we start setting this up?
Yeah, let's get it in.
Okay. So Donlan's been in prison. Uh, We are in the kingdom of Aranor. I figured I might as well name it since we're there.
Yep, because
And
I'm terrible with names.
this is a coastal town. The city is a coastal town. And you have been sent to the local prison, which is called the Keep of Sorrows. Now, the Keep of Sorrows is a fortress, basically just to the south of the harbor of where the city is. And it stands on a rocky shore. Uh, so there's no beach there to speak of. It's just a jagged
Okay.
rocks and whatnot. And it is a fortress. It is a fortress keep where you've been sent. And you know that this is where most of the kingdom's prisoners go. So you're transported there in the night. Your weapons and your possessions have been taken off of you. You have been given just plain woolen clothing. And you know you have been sentenced to these to the Keep of Sorrows, and you know that the prisoners are usually go to work on the iron mines that are to the south of the city of Aranor.
Well, that
Um,
sounds fun.
oh yeah, it is lots of fun working in the iron mines. So you're taken to the prison at night and thrown in a cell. It's an empty cell, and you spent a very miserable night. So come morning, you are taken out of your cell and taken to the main courtyard of the keep, where you see a lot of prisoners. It's, I don't know, let's call it about 100 prisoners, and they're sort of lined up, you know, like in a like you would organize an army in a files and ranks,
Yep.
and They're all staring at one of the walkways on top of the keep's walls. The keep is it's a solid stone keep. Try to imagine like a Spanish fort or
Okay.
something if you've ever seen one of those. And if you haven't, I'll send you some pictures because we have quite a few of those down here in the island. Um, so in any case, it's this is impregnable. There's no way you're making a tunnel or digging your way out of this. This is huge, solid rock.
Okay.
And on top of the walkways, you see a man accompanied by guards um, who introduces himself because you see there's a couple of new people sort of looking around, maybe like you are, sort of new people walking in. So there's some new prisoners coming in. The man introduces himself from the stand as Warden Kragar. Um, and he says, "Welcome to the Keep of Sorrows. Um, for those new prisoners, you should be aware that you will be expected to work at the iron mines. However, our king, in his infinite wisdom, has seen it fit to grant you prisoners some leisure time, and he has arranged your work days much like ordinary citizens would go to their own jobs. You will be paid for your efforts, although the fee will be small, not as much as a free man will be paid for his labors. But this is part of His Majesty's program to integrate you better into society once your time here is done. Um, we keep King's Day and God's Day, which is the equivalent of their weekend. So you will have some leisure time. And it is the morning of King's Day, actually. So it's like a Saturday. You have Saturday and
Yeah.
Sunday off, and on Monday you'll be taken to the mines. Um, this is very lenient on His Majesty's part, and I will let you know that I completely disagree with his policies. But it's not up to me. If it were up to me, I would work you until you pay the debt that you owe society. Uh, so that is all. We will then obey His Majesty and try to get through this with as little trouble as possible. So, there's guards over in the raised walkways, and you're left basically in the prison yard uh, for the remainder of the day.
All right. I my intent is to find the biggest, most dangerous looking person I can and pick a fight.
All right, we can arrange that, I suppose.
Yep.
Uh,
Day one in the yard.
yeah. So you start looking around, and you immediately notice a couple of things. Um, there is many people you recognize as your fellow citizens from Aranor, um, but there are different groups of other nationalities represented here. You know that this is basically the main prison, and as part of the work that you have been doing, you have been taking all sorts of criminals prisoner and putting them away. So you immediately notice actually three additional nationalities. And as most people do, as soon as the official ceremony is over, the crowd starts breaking up, and people sort of start clumping around by their own kind. The
Yep.
nationalities sort of start stacking together. So you notice basically there is a nation called the Tenar clans, and these are you're basically Northlander Viking barbarian types. They're
Okay.
all very pale. Um, their skin is all red from the sun because they don't get a good suntan, and they're very pale with fair hair. Um, there is another group, very darker, well, not very, but much darker skin, particularly when compared to the pale northerners, which you recognize as Arundel. These are the people from the south. They live in the southern jungles, and they're also massing together with their own people. There's a third group, which is the country just to the south of Aranor, which is called Lysenia, and these people usually wear beards and are slightly more uh, bronze-skinned than your average Aranor citizen. But they're milling around, in different nationalities. So what you do notice is that two big guys um, uh, seem to be harassing this Lysenian man. Uh, the two Aranor guys, they're just, big, and the Lysenian is an older guy. He's probably in his early 50s. He wears a traditional beard. It's kind of salt and pepper, um, and they're just pushing him around. So if you're looking to pick on somebody, those guys look pretty good.
Yeah, yes, they do. I'm gonna walk straight up. I'm gonna look at the older fellow and tell him to put his back against mine, and I'm gonna take a swing.
Excellent. So how do you want
My intent is to hurt, but not to kill.
to? All right.
I'm okay with broken bones, unconsciousness, but I'm not trying to kill anybody.
Excellent. Excellent. So how do you want to handle this in terms of the systems? You want to do versus tests or bloody versus, or want to go full fight? Or
Um, I think just a regular versus would be sufficient for this, and we can move on forward. Although
okay.
I could see going full. We can do bloody versus. Like this does pertain to my beliefs of making contacts within the underworld.
Yes.
If I
Yes, it
can knock a
does.
guy on his ass and befriend this guy,
Yep.
then that'll go a long way. So bloody versus does seem appropriate.
All right. All right. So we can do that. So you're just gonna walk in and punch him. You're not even gonna cross words with him.
Nope, not not
Excellent. All right.
not at all. Like I said, I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna put my back up to the other guys. Like, keep your back to mine, and I'm gonna swing.
All right. All right. So
So I will be rolling my B4 brawling, and I will be
uh-huh.
forking in my spycraft wise,
All right.
because part of spycraft is hand-to-hand combat.
All right. So okay. So there's two of them though. Did you remember that part?
I did remember that. I'm gonna swing at the first guy and hope the other guy can hold his own and take a couple of swings for himself too.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds good. So let's do.
I will
Sure.
take the
Sure.
bigger of the
See.
two.
All right. So he's gonna do brawling, and I'm gonna fork in some intimidation to it too.
Ooh, you know
So
what? A fork in
yeah.
intimidation as well.
Excellent.
That that
Excellent. Because you're.
that sounds good. And my
Yep.
my intimidation will strictly be of a confidence value, like just that balls of steel. I'm putting my back up against this other guy, staring him down, and then swinging.
All right. All
It's a
right.
silent intimidation.
Yeah. So he just goes, looks at you, and he says, he's taller than you. So he goes, balls off, little guy. This is none of your business. So his intent is just to get you out of the fight. He doesn't really care if he hurts you, because he's focused on the other guy. You're just a distraction at this point. You need after you knock him down, then you maybe become more of a threat. But right now, he just wants to focus on the other guy.
All right.
So right. So let's divide our dice pool because it's a bloody versus, right?
That is correct.
All right. So some dice for attack and some dice for defense.
Yep. I'll be rolling
So
my attack to begin with,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going with 5 of them.
Ooh, so you're going straight for the kill. So he's gonna just do 2 for defense.
Okay. Starting Artha.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. What was it you started me with? 3 Fate, 2 Persona?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
perfect. I'm
Let's
gonna
do that.
go ahead
Yeah.
and blow a fate and
And blow those
open up
up.
these
Yeah.
sixes.
Uh,
All right. So only got two
2
successes.
successes. Well, he
Lots of twos on
defends
the
with
board.
just. Yeah, he defends with 2. So let's see how he goes. Ah, he gets
All
nothing. So you
right.
get 2 successes on him. And now his attack. So that's an up 0 for you, isn't it? That's an up 0 test right there. Um, his attack is going to be 3 dice. Are you defending
All
with
right.
anything?
I am defending with one. You have to put at least one in
Yeah.
both attack and defense in Bloody Versus. So I
Yep.
put the one in it.
So I'll roll first. Let's see what we got. Oh, hang on. So he's going for 3.
And it comes up success.
Ooh, not good. He's got 3 successes.
And ties
So
go to the defender. So he wins this.
let's read the description for Bloody versus Ties, because there's a little description right there.
Oh, it's most defending successes, as a matter of fact.
Is it?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
do recall
I know
that.
there's like a little detail on it. That's why I want to read it again.
Yep, looking it up right now whenever I...
All right, 427. Both sides hit. Desperate battle. Apply wound with salt as per the weapon rules. Make steal test as appropriate. One side hesitates, he's out of the fight. Capture or run off. If both steal tests are passed, the side with the most attack successes decides what happens next. Huh. So you
Oh,
both
it's
got
attack
the same
successes?
number of successes. Yeah, but first you take a wound.
Okay.
So
So, steel test.
yeah, and actually he got 2 successes. So if you get 2 successes, you hit, and you get to shift it from incidental to a mark. Is that correct?
I believe so.
What's the ad for fists? Let me check the ad for fists. I forgot to add the ads on it. On my little Excel sheet. Hang on. Here we go. Fist is at 2. Yes. So that would be like a mark hit. That would be like a B4 wound.
Okay. So, that is superficial for me.
Yep. And it's superficial for him too. So superficials. Um,
And we don't make steel for superficial, do we?
I don't think so. That's what I want to check. So if we don't make steel, hang on. This isn't here. This is in the injury chapter. Superficial is 1 up, and if you get 1 up, you don't do steel, I believe. You only do steel when you get light die penalty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's not even do steel. So let's just figure it out.
The side with the most attack successes decides what happens. We both
And you
had.
both got the same.
We both got the same. That's correct. So,
So I'll give it to you. You decide. What do you want to do?
um, let's go power versus power test.
All right. All right. So whoever wins the power test gets his intent.
That is correct.
All right. So he's got a power of 4.
I got a power of 4 as well.
So here we go. Oh, I see now. The dice roller likes the GM. You see?
We're tied again.
It's not personal. It's the die roller likes the GM. I'm figuring it out now. I understand. So what this means is you're just bashing each other right now. You're both just punching each other, and then you're stepping back, and you're looking at the other guy, and the other guy's still standing, and it's like, what? So he's, you're fighting
Hmm.
again, and you can't seem to get the upper hand on each other because you're both just as strong as the other. So why don't we do this into a fort test now?
Fort test to
Yeah.
outlast.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
So he's got a fort of 3.
I've got a 4 to 4, so let's hope that extra advantage helps.
Yep.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna dump a persona in it.
Here we go. So it's an
Oh!
right now. Oh man, come on! With the persona and everything on it.
Yeah.
I told you the die roller identifies the GM and immediately goes his way. Because this is what you call a true burning wheel app, because it's designed to make the player fail. So this goes on for a while. I mean, a crowd of people is actually gathering and looking around you, because this is taking longer than it should. The other guy is about to step in, but he sort of looks at both of you and he goes, "Well, let them make it out. Let's see what happens." So he stays out of it too, and he's just waiting to see what happens. So
Me just 1 second here. I'm
sure,
working on getting some tests logged
sure.
before I
That's the
get
hardest.
them.
That's the hardest part when you start. Just have the table up someplace.
And also a fate in my brawling and a persona into my fort.
That's good though. That'll help for advancement.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good to go.
Okay. So eventually he manages to outlast your your efforts at bashing at each other. So you're just all bruised, and eventually, let's see what happens here. We didn't actually figure out. Well, he just pushes you aside.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that was his intent, was
his intent
to
was
get
just
me
getting
out
you
of the
out of the
fight.
way. Yeah, the other guy just is beating up on the smaller guy, on the Lycenian. So the crowd is pretty much gathered around, and the Lycenian's on the ground now, and you're just sort of, exhausted right by him. And he takes a good look at you and he goes, "I know you. You're that guy who used to be captain of the guard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be watching you. You're one of the guys got me in here. Now
I
you try
spit
to
some blood
kill."
at him.
If it's trouble you're looking for, we can make this more serious than it already is. Uh,
Well, I mean, if you want to go that route, we can go
uh,
that route. Or you can just walk away.
you tell him that? So,
I tell him that as I stand back up on my feet.
all right. So, he goes, "We can pick this up later tonight if you're interested." Well, actually, no, he doesn't say that. He'll say, "You know what? We will pick this up tonight. Uh, uh, save some of that fighting spirit. Everybody's expecting it anyway."
Nothing but time.
And
Now,
then he
is
just,
the guy that I came in to help, are they done beating him?
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna say, got nothing but time. I'm gonna pick him up and walk with him in the opposite direction.
All right. And
Not even
so,
gonna look back.
all right. As you pass, you notice that everybody was gathering around and sort of talking excitedly because now they know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's bound to
there's a lot
happen.
of bustle going on. Yeah. That's part of it.
Yep, bound to happen.
Yep.
So after I get him clear of the crowds, I
Hmm.
will introduce myself to him as Daunlen Trine and ask him what he did to piss off such immense men.
Such yeah, such nice looking people. He says, "Thank you, son, for the help. Um, uh, I'd say you got him yourself into a lot of trouble, but seeing as who you are, you were pretty much already in a world of trouble once you stepped in here.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Griff. Uh, I'm from Lycenia. Uh, and those charming gentlemen that you just met are uh, part of the Southside Sharp gang. And now you recognize that this is a gang from Ironor. You actually know these guys. You sent your people out against them all the time, and you were instrumental in basically taking down the gang and getting it off the streets. So you know that the Southside Sharps, they deal in protection racket and extortion and gambling is basically what they do.
Sounds about right.
Yep. So so Griff tells you, well, the Sharps figure they run this place. You see, um, they charge for protection even though we're in prison. They uh, they make us give up our meager pay, or at least part of it, and to stay on their good graces. And well, it's just it's just our luck here. We're foreigners, see, so most of you Aranor folk are the most numerous in here, so you run the place. Not saying that you're one of their gang, of course, because I can plainly see that you are not. And thank you for trying to step in and save me. Probably save me a world of hurt there, because the guy was beating me, lost interest halfway. He was watching you and the big guy, Merrick.
Well,
So
everybody needs friends in prison, and it's obvious the people I put away are not going to be my friends.
yes, yes,
Now,
and
on to important matters. These
yes,
folks are going to try to kill me tonight. I need a shank.
yes, you do. But uh, see, this is your first day here, right? And the thing is, you don't know, but what he means is he's gonna try to kill you tonight in the pit fight.
Oh, a pit fight.
Yes. See, the Sharps, they're they run most of the prison, but the warden he likes his vices. He makes all this pretty big talk about us prisoners and lowlifes, but you know he takes a cut from most of the things going on here in this prison. Damn Southside Sharps give him part of their protection racket money, and the Tenari over there, and he points to the Vikings, the Viking dudes. Well, they run a fighting pit basically for him. So every King's Day night, they just have a fight, and they like to pick on the little guys and the new guys, and it's all gambling, man. So I guess you're the star, the feature star on tonight's show.
Well, sounds good to me. What are the weapon selections like for these pit fights? What are the rules? How does it all go down?
Well, usually they usually have like they send in one guy puts in a sword and a dagger in the middle of the arena, and then they release the two combatants, and whoever reaches the weapons first takes his pick. So you got to be quick if you expect to survive, because you don't bring a knife to a sword fight. Let me tell you that.
Unless you know how to use it.
Well, I suppose. So, well, you can always try and kill him before tonight, but I don't think that's going to save you from the pits anyway. Particularly if they
No.
know who you are.
Yeah, I'm going into the pits. That's already determined, and I'd much rather kill him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So, what did they pinch you for?
Well, I I'm a merchant by trade, you see, and well, we Lycenians don't care too much for trade regulations and taxes and such. I'm in here for smuggling. I traffic in some fire brandy, which is like a hard liquor that
Yeah.
this country of Lycenia is famous for. Uh, I also trade in some silks, but fire brandy is what got me in here too. Uh, you could say I'm sort of the head of the Lycenian contingent in this here fine establishment. Uh, and I still have some connections with the people on the outside. They occasionally bring me in a case of fire brandy and such, and the warden, he usually backs off when I offer him a bottle or two.
So, how is it they get this fire brandy into the prison?
Well, I sort of have this arrangement with the warden. Uh, they sneak it in real quiet. My friends on the outside, uh, and he allows them to bring in a crate, which is great because by this time I've pretty much know the movement of the guards on the walls. And then he sort of realizes that maybe he said too much, and he kind of changes the subject, and he goes back to. So I hear you tried to kill your own king.
He's
What's
no king of mine.
what's the matter with that?
Well,
Weren't you like a
with
guard
all
or
of his
something?
with all of his fancy talk and his false utopia, he's a pretty shitty person. He's done none of this for the people. It's all been for himself. And once I found out about it, it needed to be stopped.
I see. I see. That's interesting. It's a good thing you
Now
didn't get killed for it. Yeah.
that's absolutely a falsehood. So would you like me to roll for that, or are we just going to go with just say yes that he?
Well, actually, you maybe should roll for it. Because, you
Um,
know, they're probably
um,
suspicious anyway of you. So, let's see. Okay, your intent is just to deceive him to get into his good graces. So if you succeed,
well, my intent is like I'm trying. Yeah, I want to be in his good graces, but this particular lie is about protecting my cover.
all right. So what
No,
happens
no
if he?
one can know that the assassination was staged.
Okay, okay.
Luckily, I have a falsehood of 5.
But wait. So what happens if you miss? What happens if you fail? What are we gonna do for?
Um, if I fail, I suppose he's gonna poke holes in my story one way or another. Maybe he knows somebody that knows the king and knows what I'm saying is not true. I mean, he is a merchant
Okay. So
and a
what
smuggler.
we'll
I
do?
assume he has contacts.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll say he figures out there's something funny with your story, so he'll save it from when maybe that piece of information comes in handy at a later point. How
Okay,
about that? Okay,
sounds good.
sounds
So let's
good.
see.
So,
I've got my B5 falsehood.
and that runs against his will. Let me see. So, falsehood is page 272, and the base obstacle is always the will of the character. So,
Yes.
add an advantage die if the lie is believable or has some kernel of truth, and increase the obstacle if it's just a bad lie. So I'm going to give you I'm going to give you an extra die because you did get caught. You did get sent to prison. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, I'll give you an extra. So is the
I will
obstacle is
also be forking in spycraft wise.
all right? Yeah, because that's part of protecting your cover. I like it.
Yep, for a total of 7.
And that's a knob of 4.
Come on, I need it. Ooh!
Oh man, do you see? It identifies the players immediately.
Right.
Not good. Not good.
Not good.
No.
My best skill.
So, so he goes, all right, all right. Different countries, different customs, I suppose. But that's all he says. I mean, he doesn't call you on it or anything.
That's good.
Oh,
Hopefully I can befriend him before he decides to
yeah,
blow the whistle.
yeah.
Or if need be,
So,
discredit his name.
yeah. So he tells you, just watch your distance with those Southside Sharps. They probably, if you weren't a guard, they probably know you, and they're gonna want to settle some scores.
Oh yeah, just about half the people here have scores to settle with me.
Yeah, and he tells you,
It's
and you know
not
that
going to be a pretty stay, which is why I have to get out.
yes, I suppose.
And I leave it at that, and I walk away from him.
All right, all right.
I would like to make my health test to get rid of this superficial wound.
Sure, let's go with that. How long does that take to get rid of? Let me check on the.
Instantaneous for superficial,
Oh, excellent,
and
excellent.
it's an ob 1.
And it's an one. Let me see. Mortal wounds. Recovery. Superficial wounds. Up 1 health test. If failed, it remains throbbing for 10 minutes. 10 minus 14 hours,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So it's.
Um,
Sure, go for
did
it.
I not? I apparently did not mark my health on my sheet.
Oh, didn't you?
I
Hmm.
set somewhere. Got everything on here but health. And health is what? Power and fort?
I
Rounded,
don't
or
remember.
the average of power and fort, isn't it?
Let me check real quick. Um,
Looking as well.
oh wait, that's in the burning. Burning the characters.
Yeah.
After burning attributes.
That's
Oh, and health, you need
okay.
to ask
Health.
the questions. You need to answer the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. I know I did this. I don't know
Yeah.
why it didn't get there. So
Yeah, it's the average of will and fort, rounded
mhm.
down. So,
And then plus or minus the questions.
correct.
So I'm at a base of 4,
Yeah.
-1 for having the sickly trait.
Ooh, so you're at 3.
Yeah, -1 for being tortured,
Ooh,
+1 for being active, and +1 for living in a really clean and happy place. Because up until present, I was living in the king's castle as his personal guard.
that's true.
So I have health of 4.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds
right.
good.
I must. I thought I had one too many columns on my table here when I made it. Apparently, I just
Yeah,
forgot to put my health in.
that's okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this cleared up. Got it.
Excellent, excellent. So it goes away,
Yep,
and you
that
get to
helped.
log in a health test too. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. I've got
Oh,
to.
actually, wait. Actually, health is a stat, so it probably needs just difficults.
Oh yeah, difficult or challenge. Yeah.
But is it
Yep.
4 difficult for you? Because no, it's an op one, so it's
It
routine.
was
It's
an
an
op
op
of
one.
1. I
Yeah,
rolled 4 dice on op.
yeah. So it doesn't
Yep.
matter. It just goes away. Excellent, excellent. You know what I should do?
Works
I should
for
roll.
me.
I'm gonna roll his health. The other guy, just in case he misses.
Yeah, see if you keep.
So he has it in case he
Yeah,
misses, and he
keeps
has it
that
on
fucking.
his. Yeah. So let's see. He's a 4. Oh man, I just had the questions and I let him go. Let me look at the questions again. Or does I mean the NPCs just go by 4? Let's just do 4. Yeah, he got it.
Yep.
So he's gonna be okay when you next meet up.
Yep.
So
Sounds good.
yeah. So so let's see what else. People are still moving around. Let me see.
I would like to attempt a linked test to help me out in this pit fight.
All
I
right.
would like to try to circle up an old informant of mine from when I was a guard.
All right. All right.
And so my intent is to find uh, an ex-informant that will have information about a weakness of his that I can exploit in the match,
All right. That sounds good.
which would be a link test to give me that extra die come fight time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, hang on. Where are my circle obstacles? Let's look at the Clippy thing here. Mm, circles test. Okay. Same life path, definitely, because it has to do with your job, and it's lower rank. Or actually, well, right now you're prisoners, so it's the same rank.
Yep.
Disposition and knowledge. That would give you like maybe 1 ob, and you kind of need it in a quick fashion. So let's call it an ob of 2.
Up two.
Yeah, let's call it an
But
ob 2.
sounds like an op three because you have your base ob
That's true.
that
Base ob.
sort
I
of
forgot about the
fall off.
base ob. So it's
Yeah.
2
So
modifiers. So it's ob 3. Okay,
all
let's do
right.
ob 3.
Well, let's see if I get some sixes because I don't want to burn my last persona, and I don't. So that fails.
All right. So if this fails and if it's a link test, are you gonna get
Yeah,
an
I'm
obstacle
at a
for
plus
your?
one ob.
Okay, so
Yep.
what happens is you do find him. You find this guy. You call him. You call him Hob. His name is Hob, and he's
Okay.
this older guy. Um, he used to be a fence. He sells stolen goods, and you caught him once. You let him go, and he was your contact on the street. But eventually, he got caught again, um and I don't know. He got doing something else. He got thrown in prison. So Hob shows up and goes, "Captain, fancy meeting you here."
Yeah. Quite the coincidence, don't you think?
Yes, it is. Although I am glad to see you because I'm putting quite some money on you. Pit fight tonight is going to be good. I bet
That it is.
Rogish is excited. I can tell. Rogish is the Tenari, the Viking leader, the one who leads the pit fights. So it's going to be good. And I don't know. I'm putting some money on you. I remember you used to be pretty good with that blade of yours, so I'm hoping you'll dash right in and get that sword before the other guy does.
Yeah. Can you tell me any weaknesses he might have that I can exploit?
Merrick? Yeah, Merrick. Uh, Merrick usually favors his left side. You know,
Okay.
that's so if you keep hit on the right, you'll probably be on the best way to attack him. So he usually comes gunning right off the boat. So just rush him as soon as possible and go for that right side. He'll be expecting you to attack on the left. So
All right.
so he usually defends, to that side.
Mhm.
Which of course, now that it's going to be the other way around. But
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
that's how we
It's
get your
okay.
+1 up.
That's all right. Let's see. I would like to generate some cash dice to bet on myself
All right, all right.
while we're at it. See, how would I generate these cash die? Like, how do I go about doing this within prison?
Let me think. Let me see. It can't be that. Well, right now, all you have to sell is information,
Yeah.
or or you could throw in the fight, but that's probably not a good idea because you'll get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fight, the
I'll
fight, the fights. Hop tells you that the fights usually go to first blood, so it's
first
just
blood.
yeah. If you just wound the guy, you don't have to kill him,
All right. Yeah.
unless sometimes people get carried away. So
And I'm sure they will get carried away with me.
it's been known to happen.
Everybody in here wants me dead.
That's right.
All right.
So if you ask him about the fight, okay, here's what he tells you. You ask him, how can I get some money to bet on myself, right?
Mhm.
So he goes, well, I I got all my money tied up on the fight tonight, so I'm in no position to do anything. But you might talk to Ishan. Ishan is the leader of the Arundels.
Yeah.
The Arundels are the dark-skinned people that you saw, and you know that the people who live south in the jungle.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, he might ask you to do something in the fight tonight, and maybe he'll be willing to put up some money for you, help you bet on yourself.
Yeah. I thank him for his time, and I'm going to. All right. I know how I'm going to do this. I am going to use my knowledge of the grift to teach someone the finer points of a specific grift in exchange for a cash fund of 1D, which on page 374, generating cash, you can produce cash from your resources. An Ob2 test generates 1D of cash. If I fail that, my resources are taxed, and he
All
decides
right.
that whatever I teach him is not worth it.
All right. He did
Sound
tell you
good?
you could go talk to this guy though. That's another option. So you can keep that in the back of your mind if you don't want to. You want
Yeah.
to do that. All right.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to get myself into some shit on this fight that I can't handle.
All
So if
right.
I can generate my cash without doing that, I will, and I'll still see what he has to say. More cash, the better.
All right. So all right.
So yeah,
So
I
you're
need.
just gonna walk up to someone and circle up someone is what you're doing basically. But we'll let it ride. Sure. Um, he
So
points
yeah.
you in the direction of some guys that are maybe you busted a couple of these guys and you know that they run uh, the grift, but they're not very good con men.
No.
So
So I'm gonna
they're
give him some
losers. Yeah.
finer points in exchange for some cash. Now I need 2 successes to make this.
All right.
So let's see what happens. Got him.
Nice,
That's
nice.
what I like to see.
So these guys are all excited, and sure, they'll pull the resources. They don't have much because they already bet too. So they'll
Yeah.
give you one cash die.
Yep.
I have one cash die for your.
Works for me. And I suppose now it's time to go see the leader of this pit fighter ring.
There's two guys. Hop told you to go see Ishan, who's
Hmm.
the leader of Southern faction, because he thought you might be able to get some money from him if you
Okay.
do something in the fight. He doesn't know the specifics, but he
Well,
told you you might want to talk to him. And
let's go see what
Rogosh
he has
is
to say.
okay. There's two guys. You can go talk to either one at any time. So
Yeah, let's go see what he has to say about making some more cash, and then whether I take that cash or not, I'll go and put the remainder of my cash on myself for this fight.
all right, all right. So you're going to see Ishan, right?
Yes.
All right. So you go to the side of the yard for the Arundel guys are milling about, and these are bronze-skinned people. Uh, they, you know from what you already know that these people they deal in drugs. Okay,
Okay.
uh, these are like I'm thinking of them like Egyptians in my head, like ancient Egyptians. They come from the jungles. There's lots of plants there. They know lots of strange mixtures and chemicals and plant extracts and whatnot. So they deal in drugs and poisons. They have a bad rep as poisoners and assassins, um, but they're also known as drug dealers. So you know
Okay.
these people are dangerous too. You ask around, and the people show you to their leader, which is Ishan, and it's this little skinny, bronze-skinned guy with black hair and dark eyes, and his pupils are like real huge, man. They're like big black pupils. So and he speaks with like a slow and considering, and he's very slow and relaxed because he's stoned half out of his brain most of the time. But even though he sounds like that and his eyes are a bit unfocused, um, you get a sense that this guy he's in control. He does the
Okay.
drugs, but he's not a wild. He's in control.
So
So he
I
looks.
look at him and I'm just like, I hear you might have a proposition for me.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you are the former guard captain, are you not?
That is
Uh,
correct.
and you will be at the pit fights in this night, are you not?
Correct.
I. You wish for money to bet on yourself?
I do.
Well, uh, I might be able to provide some funds, but there is something I might want you to take care of for me in
And what is
exchange.
that?
Well, after you finish your fight, or even before, if the mood should strike you, you could challenge Rogosh, the leader of the Tenari, to combat. That should liven things up considerably, and the bets would even increase if you do that. And I'd rather much appreciate it you would kill him for me.
So, you give me money. I bet on myself. What happens if I lose the initial fight and can't go on? Then I have no money to pay you back, and your man still stays standing. It doesn't seem like the best deal on your end. Banking a
Well,
lot on me winning.
as I said, I really do not care for your fight with this Merrick fellow. I am really interested in Rogosh.
Okay.
What?
Um. Well, I could be interested in doing this, but in order for me to get to Rogesh, I have to be in a condition to fight. So
Yes.
you throw me the cash to bet on myself
Yes.
and find a way to poison the knife for
Ah,
my fight with Merrick. You can get
I
poison on
see.
that blade, I will kill him, and I will kill your man as well.
I like it. I was going to say you want to go for dual wits, but I'm liking it so far. Are you happy with that?
I thought it might turn into a duel of wits, but I figured we might be able to handle it in role play before we got there.
If it's okay with you, it's sounding good to me.
Yeah, hey, just
So,
say yes seems good for me.
so he says, I will get poison on the knife, you say?
On the
Very
knife.
well. Yes, I will do that. Um, if you actually manage to kill Rogosh for me, um, I will be very grateful indeed. So, you might get into his good graces if you do
Perfect.
this. So, so yeah. So I think he
Criminal
does.
activity is what I need.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
So, how much cash is he giving me so I can go place my bet and get on with this fight?
It's give you four cash dice.
Four cash dice.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I tell him he will not regret it, and I go to place my bet.
All right. All right. So,
So I
all right.
reach. What was his name that's running it?
Okay. Now, Rogosh is the guy, the Viking guy who's running the fights.
Oh, so not only am I going to place a bet with this guy, but I'm going to
Well,
kill
no.
him after I collect my winnings.
Uh, yeah.
Sounds good. So, Rogar, what are the odds for my fight this evening?
Let's.
I did just get my ass handed to me in the yard by this guy.
Yes, you did, but you got a reputation too.
I do.
So I'm figuring how we're gonna handle this. You wanna? Let's make you roll something. Maybe you have to
Okay.
roll like a falsehood. No, it's
Falsehood to play up the injury that I sustained in my previous fight.
that sounds reasonable because something's got to counteract your reputation. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
have a reputation as a good sword fighter, but you did get injured, so that
Yeah.
might change the odds here.
Yeah.
So
So, I
yeah,
suppose if I make the check, he believes I'm injured. Odds are against me for this fight. I make more money. If I fail it, the odds are for me winning, and I don't take home nearly as much.
that sounds good. Yeah.
Perfect. So, and going against his will, correct?
Yes. Well, let's do a will four. You want a forking anything else in there? You have anything that looks
Let
like
me.
acting or something like that?
I don't. I've got so far. Oh, you know what? So I've got my base of 5 for my falsehoods. I'm gonna fork in spycraft wise, and
Okay.
I'm also gonna fork in grift wise because I'm hustling this guy for money.
That's true. Yes, you are. You are. You're fixing a fight. Is what you're doing, or
Yes. Grift
manipulating
wise.
the books. Is what you're doing.
Yep.
This is very interesting.
All
So
right.
he
So
looks
I've
at
got
you and goes, "So you are this guard captain. Uh,
yes. I'm
uh,
Daunlen Trine.
you are fighting tonight. I
Yes,
am
I am.
glad that you came over here. I wanted to get a good look at you, see what we're betting against or for.
Hmm. Like, well,
So
in my heyday, I was quite the fighter, but since my incarceration, it hasn't been going so well, and I'm currently rather injured from my fight with this douchebag earlier.
yes, the Southside Sharps are a bunch of snakes.
Got it.
Nice,
Oh, oh,
nice.
oh.
So he sees you kind of limping, and you're telling him this, and maybe you're breathing a bit,
Hmm.
I, uh, and he looks at you, and without you expecting it, he jabs a finger on the side that you're favoring. So he
Hmm.
pokes you in the ribs, and you immediately go, oh, and you sort of cringe like that, and he goes,
Yep.
I think you have a broken rib. Not so good for fighting in pit. I give you 2-1 odds. No, let's make it 3-1
2 to 1,
odds on you winning.
3 to 1. Well,
Yeah, let's go
considering
big.
if I lose this, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
I'd like to place all of this on
yeah,
myself,
let's go.
and that's five cash die worth.
Wow, so that's gonna be like, well, let's
15 if I win.
yeah, 15 is a lot. Let's make it 10. But
But yeah, I'm
you know,
fine with 10. 2 to 1's good.
cash dice is abstract, so let's call
Yeah.
it. It's 3 times the amount, but it's twice the cash dice. Okay,
Yep. Sounds
because
good to me.
15 sounds like huge amount of money.
Yeah.
So let's do maybe 10 cash dice. Okay,
Yep. That sounds good on the win.
so let me see if he says anything else. Okay, so hmm. Okay, so here's what he's gonna do. Everybody gets all excited when he makes this pronouncement, and people start uh, shouting and screaming and jotting down names and taking bets from everybody, basically, for tonight's fight. And he draws you over here. He says, "A word with you in private before we conclude this whole betting business."
Okay.
All right. So he draws you over and goes, you know, eh, this man Merrick that you are going to fight tonight, uh, he works for Bulldog, the leader of the Southside Sharps. And you know this guy Bulldog. He's a strong guy. He's like a big capo in a mafia family.
All
So
right.
and is the leader of the Southside Sharps in the prison. He goes, after you kill this Merrick, or before you do that, you could challenge Bulldog to a fight. If you challenge Bulldog, I could make it worth your while.
Hmm. Well, make it worth my while is rather vague, sir.
Well, you see, instead of fighting Merrick, you would be fighting Bulldog. I give you same odds. Plus, I'm on your side, so I want you to win. Uh, there is something I am contemplating later on the week. A big, shall we say, situation, and I would be willing to have you involved. But only if you take care of Bulldog for me. He killed my cousin Ranulph. I hate his guts. I want him dead.
Well, if I decided to do this, it would only be after I take care of Merrick. We have unfinished business. So
Well,
I will
I don't.
contemplate this, and if I take Merrick and I'm in healthy condition to fight, I will challenge your man, but only after and only if I'm able.
All right, all right. I see. Uh, Let me see. Um, if you win, they say, well, if you lose, you'll be hurt. It'll take you some time to recuperate. This business that I have in mind is this week. It cannot wait to next King's Day's fight. Uh, you need to kill him soon. Uh,
Well, all we can hope for now is that I take Merrick down without a scratch. If not, we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But at the moment,
right?
Merrick is my priority. He roughed
All
me
right.
around in the yard, and if I don't take care of this, more of that will come. And that's not something I can have. I have a big enough target on my back as it is. So we will see what happens at tonight's fight.
I understand. I can respect that. But if
Cool.
you do kill him, you come with me. This business venture that I have in mind will be of great benefit to you as well.
Okay.
Right?
I would like to go speak with shit. Where'd his name go? The original, the merchant guy that I protected.
Smuggler. Griff.
Yeah, Griff. That's
Sure.
right, Griff.
Yep.
Griff.
All right.
I would like to go holler at him
Sure thing.
because I have a bit of an attachment to Griff, and no matter which way I go, Griff's coming with me.
All
I want
right.
to see if maybe he knows anything about what's going on with this guy. Because at
Okay.
this point, I have a choice. I've already got the poison coming the blade, so Merrick's mine one way or another. But if I go and I don't kill this guy,
All right.
now I've got enemies.
All right. That's true. That's true.
So I'm hoping he might be able to give me some insight.
All right. All right. So it's a small yard. I mean, no, it's a big yard. It's a big yard actually, but you know where he is.
Yeah.
So you head over to the Lycean group, and they all look at you, and you go right to Griff.
So Griff,
Right.
I'd appreciate a moment in private.
Sure thing, son. How can I help you?
Well, I have had many propositions today about what to do come time of the pit fights.
Have you now?
Now I'm trying to determine what it is I would like to do.
I see.
Now, I'm aware that during our little discussion, I lied to you and you know it. I'm aware of this.
All
And
right.
you'll have to take me at my word that it was necessary.
I
But,
see.
like me, I'm sure you would like to get out of this prison. Can't make
I'm
much
listening.
money in here. Now, I think I have an opportunity to do this with a plan that's already in motion. In order
Really?
to do it, I must kill a man, and I'm not sure if that's something I want to do. Because I believe you may have the way out for us.
I see.
You see, you told me that once a week, a crate comes in full of your brandy.
Yes.
I'm assuming that to save on costs, that same crate leaves again empty.
Yes, it does.
Now, since you know the guard movements, and I'm rather handy in a fight, I don't see why we couldn't arrange to be in that crate when it leaves this prison.
Sounds good.
Now, if I win this fight, I'll have all the money that we need to abscond from the country and get beyond the king's reach. And I like you.
Right.
So if this sounds amenable, we might be able to get out of here.
All right. So what you're offering basically is to take him along.
I'm
and-
offering to grant him protection until the time comes for us to leave, and to pay for the voyage once we leave. if he takes me along in his crate.
All right. All right. So, hmm. Let's see. Sure, that sounds like a good plan. He says, well, yes, to do this, I suppose we could perhaps take the opportunity to take off after the fight has concluded. I could see to it that the crate of fire brandy is distributed along among the people. I could bet the crate, the contents of the crate.
That could
So,
work, but
so, all right,
if we can time that correctly, there's going to be an escape attempt happening this week.
all right.
Now, I can get the details of this escape attempt,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the warden's ear.
Yes.
So, if we time all this right, I'll make some enemies. Because I've already promised services to someone else, and they're going through trouble to make sure I take care of theirs. But the target is the one that means to escape.
I
So,
see.
I will have to take the target's offer and challenge his man after my fight with Merrick, so that he lets me in on the escape plan. We leak that information to the guard, combine that with all the fire brandy, should be able to get out of this jail and this crate quite easily. Everybody should be pretty well preoccupied between being drunk and escape attempts.
All right. All right. So, okay. So, what you want to know is you're thinking who has an escape plan? Rogosh, the Viking?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
I had the inclination that that's what he wants to bring me in on.
All
And
right.
that in order to make this escape, he needs this person killed. That's
All
why it's
right.
so important that it happens before the next King's Day.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, I'm going to make quite a bit of enemies in this, but I really want to take Griff with me. I like Griff.
All right. All right.
But maybe I won't take the Vikings as an enemy as long as they don't know that I'm the one that leaked their plans.
Okay.
Maybe it'll just be the poisoners that poison the knife for me, and then I, don't kill their enemy.
Exactly, because the poisoner wants you to kill Rogosh.
hmm Yes, I know. Like, either way, to get Griff out of this, I am most
Uh-huh.
likely going to make enemy.
All
Like,
right.
the only way to get... Yeah. Yeah.
So I like
So
it.
I'm just going to make sure that my enemies stay in prison while me and Griff get away.
All right.
That's the whole plan here.
That's the crux of your plan. Excellent. All right. I like it. I like it. It's
I'm also going to let Brogoth know that the other faction is trying to have him offed.
okay.
That I'm supposed to do it. So maybe he will take care of that enemy for me.
Okay. Okay.
That's where I'm heading to next. I tell Griff to make arrangements with his people on the outside,
All right.
and that I will let him know the finer details at the end of the evening.
Excellent. I love it.
Sounds good. So I will go back to Rogarth, tell him I
Uh-huh.
need to speak with him yet again.
Okay.
Request audience.
He
So,
comes in and he says, "So you changed your mind? You are killing Bulldog tonight, huh?"
yes, I'm killing Bulldog tonight, and I feel that you need to know that I've been commissioned to kill you.
What? Who has done this thing?
The poisoners have done this. They are the ones that gave me the money to bet on myself on the condition that I challenge you after Merrick. However, they're a little shady. I like you better. All I ask is that you hold off on this information until after the fight. Because the other part of the deal was that they poison the knife so I can more easily dispatch Merrick once I get in the arena. And if they know that I've betrayed them, that poison might not be on that knife. And considering my weakened state, I need that poison to have the edge.
Uh, Those damn jungle snakes. He keeps insisting I give him his sister back. I told him I took her as part of raid. She is slave to me now. No returns. uh, I have been expecting them to make a move of some sort, but I thought they would poison my food, not try to have me killed in such a direct fashion. But thank you for telling me. Uh, I like this. I like this. You have done me a great favor uh, already. You killed Bulldog tonight. You are in with us. I take
What I
good
like to
care of
hear.
you, especially this week. I take good care of you.
That's what I like to hear. I give him a wink and I take my leave to go
Excellent.
gather my composure until this fight. Unless you have something else planned that happens before the fight, I think I have done all of the scheming that I need to do. I think we're
Yeah,
prepared.
yeah. So are you liking it so far? How's it
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
out for
I'm
you?
having a good time.
Yeah, yeah. This relationship map has been coming in useful.
Yeah,
So,
who
yeah,
hates
I don't
to?
think I had much else planned. You talked to Ishan, you talked to Griff, you talked to everybody except Bulldog, but you already know pretty much what's
You know,
going on with him. So, so yeah. So what's your plan again for tonight? So I can get this
okay.
straight again.
So here's the
You're
plan. I'm going
hmm
to off Merrick with the poison knife.
all right.
Then, instead of challenging old dude, I'm
Rogos,
challenging Bulldog,
Bulldog, excellent,
and I will
excellent.
kill Bulldog.
All right.
Hopefully, after that happens, he will take care of the poisoners for me, so I don't have to worry about burning that bridge.
All right.
Because I'm sure they go through quite a bit of trouble to get this poison on this blade for me before a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
This
All
also
right.
allows me to keep my winnings much more easily. After the fight, the escape plan will be revealed, I'm hoping,
Yeah.
since he's taking care of me this week. With that plan, I will approach Griff, let Griff know the plan, and make sure that that gets whispered in the warden's ear.
Excellent.
We
Excellent.
will be, hopefully, on the other side of the prison, inside
A crate.
Firewine Crate. Hopefully that both of these plans aren't happening in the same place.
Yes.
That's my hope. Because outing
Excellent.
his escape is the distraction for us to get away.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We can do that. We can do that. We can swing it. All right. So let's go to the fights tonight.
Yeah.
So rest of the day, passes without too much incident. Many of the prisoners who already know you give you dark looks, but nobody's going to mess with you because the fight is tonight and everybody's betting.
Yep.
Uh, so there's a few betting on you, figuring that you're the long odds. So it's business. It's not personal, but most of them are betting against you because they really want to see you die.
That's okay.
Uh, so yes, time comes for the fight. How do you want to handle the fight with Merrick?
I feel the fight with Merrick needs to be a full-on fight. Like we've already done bloody verses. I've already
Yes.
lost that. There's a lot riding on me killing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's absolutely been decided that he is going to die in this fight,
All
and
right.
I know he's gunning to kill me. Like this is a fight to the death, and a full fight sounds like that's what needs to happen. I do want to take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. I need to go find my dry erase pen and grab a drink,
Excellent. That's cool.
and then jump right into this fight. Hopefully, not die. But it's
Let's hope
tough. I'm
not.
getting our
Yeah.
characters in life and death situations in day one.
Yeah, it's going to be a real short campaign. All right, so we're gearing up for a big fight here. Let me see. Oh man, where's my stuff? Here it is. Uh, um, all right. Okay, there's. Okay, I was gonna do hang on, what's going on here? I was gonna do a speed test to get to the weapons,
Sounds good.
but I'm thinking he's gunning for the sword, and you want the knife, right?
If he's, yeah, if he's
So
gunning for that, but I
if
would
there is
like
a contest, yeah.
I would like I'd still like to make the speed test because if I can make it to the knife or to
Mhm.
the weapons before he gets there, I might be able to
Okay.
kick that sword away a little bit to buy myself a bit extra time.
Okay. Okay, we can do that.
Because I'm assuming both the weapons are right next to each other. That they're in the same place, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
They're like in the center
So
of the arena.
while we're both going for a different weapon,
Okay.
I'd still like to take the speed test to get there into the weapon first and maybe put him at a disadvantage. So if I can get that
Okay.
weapon kicked away and he's got to come at me with fists, now I've got a poison blade, that makes it a lot easier on me.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
But we'd have to come up with a good failure.
yeah. What I'm thinking is, if you succeed, you kick the sword away, and I'm thinking maybe we could make that into increased obstacle test, maybe for engagement when we do engagement, because this is happening before engagement.
Yes.
Um, because
And then that's what I'm looking for is to get the engagement advantage.
yeah, because I'm thinking if you do this, then you get so maybe we could do it like a link test. Whoever
Okay.
gets to the weapon first,
It's
if
going
you
to kick the other
succeed,
person's away.
you get an advantage. If you miss, you get an obstacle on your subsequent engagement test.
Sounds
How
good
does
to me.
that sound?
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think that's the easiest way to tie the existing mechanics to what we're
Yep.
kind of thinking of doing. So, so sure, let's try that and see what happens. Um, uh,
Really banking that he's a big guy. He's not too speedy.
yep,
That's what I'm hoping.
yep. What's your
I,
speed?
on the other hand, am pretty quick.
Nice.
All of my stats are 4, with the exception of speed, and that is a 5.
Nice. So, yeah, so I'm gonna say, let's call it a 4. It just, I should have burned this guy up beforehand, but I didn't realize who you'd be fighting, so.
Well, I mean, in the back
So
of the
let's begin.
book,
Yeah.
there are the
Guidelines.
rogues. For the one-off NPC skills, characters that will be used once, like a merchant to haggle or a murderer to struggle against, are assigned an overall exponent based on their competence and expertise. Regular folks are 3, trained professionals are 4, and experts are 5.
Yeah.
And then for a character that requires more depth than a single skill, assign a hierarchy of 3 or 4 abilities. What they specialize in is at 5. Their secondary and territory abilities are at 4 and 3 respectively.
All right. All right.
So I would lobby that he's the bigger brawler type fighter, and he'd only have a speed of 3.
Okay.
I would lobby that would be his weakness.
That sounds
Just
reasonable.
from the previous engagements that I've had with him.
Sure. That sounds reasonable. So
So now, how are we working the poison? Do we have is there a poison entry in the book,
I have
or are we
no idea.
gonna just come up with something on the fly for that?
I have no idea whatsoever. I'm thinking. I'm thinking if you hit him with the poison, as soon as you score maybe a light wound. Does it need to be a light?
I
Uh,
mean, even a superficial
let's
draw
roll
of
the
blood,
mark. Yeah.
and with a blade coated, like even a scratch would put the poison in his system.
All right.
It's
So
just determining the effects of the poison. Is this like a kill you poison, or is this slow you down and give you higher obs poison?
yeah, I'm thinking maybe it's like a hesitation poison where you hit him and he has to make like a steel test,
That sounds good.
and
I
maybe
like
if he
that.
fails, then he has to stand and drool because he's paralyzed by the
Okay.
poison. That's what I'm
Now,
thinking. Yeah.
would it make more sense to do that as a fort or a health test that resists the poison, as opposed to a steel test?
Yeah, but okay. But if he misses the fort, then by how much does he hesitate?
Well, what I'm thinking is maybe he rolls the fort and he either resists the poison outright, and if
Or
not, then he has to roll the steel for the effects of the poison to find out how long he hesitates.
okay, I like that. I like that. So it gives him an extra way to get
Yeah,
out of it.
give him a way to survive it, and we have no idea how much of the poison got on the blade or anything like that. I suppose the higher scale of wound that's done, the bigger the fort check obstacle needs to be because more poison gets into the system.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
that even opens up that fails its first time. Maybe that's superficial or light wound. Not all the poison comes off the blade. If I get a higher class damage on him, that poison can come back into play again.
Okay.
As more enters the system, he's got to continually try to fight it off.
Sure. Sure. Let's do it.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, I'm ready for my speed versus test.
All right. So first we do the speed versus test. So he's got a 3 basically. That's all he's got.
I'm gonna risk it
So
with just the 5.
let me roll first so you can have an op there. Ooh,
Ooh,
264. So I got 2 and you got 4 successes. So
that's
you
what I
get your
like.
intent. You get an advantage on your next attack, on your positioning roll is what you're gonna get.
Yep.
And remember that you have that ob from the link test that we took previously. So what we'll
Yes,
do is when
but
you
that's
first
towards fighting, because we
exactly.
determined that
So
the ob was about which side he favors.
what I'm going to say is that whenever you script a strike or something where there's a strike component involved,
Hmm.
just increase the op by 1.
Sounds good.
All right,
Sounds
and
good.
all we're missing is the weapon. So
Well,
I'm going to give you a run-of-the-mill dirk. Okay.
okay.
Uh, okay? Let's set the stage. It's nighttime basically. The uh, courtyard of the keep has been is lit by a lot of torches. There are guards watching from above on the walkways. You even see the Warden Kragar, is looking from one of the towers. He is sitting down and watching the whole thing. Um, the center of the area has been cleared out, and torches have been placed like in a circle.
All right.
And in the very center of the circle, you see a sword sticking out of the earth and a small knife. Actually, a dirk. It's a pretty good knife. Uh, it's let's say the sheath is stuck in the ground and the knife is inside the sheath,
Okay.
and that's how they get the poison in. Because if they stick it in the ground, the poison will come out. So and they basically everybody's cheering and screaming, and Rogosh is like the master of ceremonies, and he goes, "Gentlemen, for your pleasure, we have Merrick of the Southside Sharps against the hated former captain of the Aranor City Guard. Geez, I forgot your first names.
Daunlen
Trine is your
Trine.
last name. Captain Trine, yes.
Daunlen.
Daunlen Trine, that's it. Uh, uh, so he basically just gives a count, and you guys rush to the weapons. You're both wearing your rags. Basically, is what you got is just this
Yeah.
big
Yep.
oversized wool shirt and trousers and some shoes, basically, just run of the mill, some poor quality shoes, but that's all you got. And Merrick is very surprised that you're not even reaching for the sword, but you get there before he does, so you sort of throw the sword away and grab the dagger. And out of the
Hmm.
corner of your eye, when you draw it, you can see that it's slick. It kind of glints off the firelight, so you know it is poison.
Good.
Um,
Good.
so let's do the positioning roll.
Yep. So Tesper Engage is speed
So,
plus advantages for longer stride or longer weapon.
okay, so it's
He picks up
same.
the advantage on me for the weapon, but I pick up the advantage myself for knocking the weapon away.
Okay, so I'll give you 2 dice for the whole knocking the sword
Perfect.
out of position. So let's give you 2 dice there, and all he's got is the advantage for the sword, right?
Yes.
Nothing else. Longer stride, stride by 4 more, or longer weapon. All right.
Yep.
So so we roll speed plus that, right?
Yes.
So he's got 4 dice basically.
Up against my 7.
Nice. So let me clear that. So here we go. He's got 1 success.
Picked up 2.
Nice. So you are in advantage. That means he is fighting sword against. No, the advantage is read by the knife has the advantage.
Yes.
And again, it's a
So
run of the mill dirk.
yep. So the knife against the sword gives me a +2
Correct.
advantage.
Correct. And I said it's a run of the mill dirk.
Yes.
So if you wanna jot it down real quick, because I got my little my little Excel program here,
Yep.
and it
I've got
says
mine up too.
that okay, incidental is 3, mark is 5, superb is 7, and your ad for all the knives. I didn't even put the ads because everything is an ad 2 except for the knives, which are at 1.
Okay.
So for each success, you can increase from incidental to mark to superb, or
Nice.
you can move the hit location. Okay. And
Nice.
weapon script is X, so you can script it all the time. Now he's using a poor quality sword, is what he's going to be using. So I'll use that to. And that advantage that you get is for. It applies to what? To all your actions?
That advantage applies. I get a 2D advantage to my rolls across these 3 volleys until
Ooh,
we retest for engagement again at the next exchange.
wow, that's awesome. And that accounts for everything?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
because what the positioning advantage is with a knife, you got to be up close. With a
Yeah,
sword, you
you're
got
in
to be a
the
bit farther back, so it's harder for him to wield his sword during this
to
exchange
swing it
because I'm
or.
all up in his shit stabbing him. So,
All
yeah,
right.
that really helps out because I'm at that +1 ob on all my strikes.
Okay, unless he hits you with like the pommel of the sword, right? No, how does that work?
Well, even if he does, like I still get the advantage die.
Yeah,
That's where the advantage die come in. Instead of using the sword as he normally would, he has to
uh,
improvise and do it in different manners because I'm all up in his face. And then,
Yeah,
like,
but
if he
this,
would have won, I would have been out of range, and I'd have to do like
yeah,
lunging maneuvers to actually get in to stab him, which would give him the advantage die.
yeah. So
But luckily,
this changed from the revised because this used to be way different. Now I guess the pommel is to if the weapon is has a certain speed and you want to put something in between, I guess you can use the other.
hmm
Is that correct? Is that how that goes? I think
um,
that's how that goes.
I don't really know off the top of my head. I haven't really gotten into pommel strikes in any of my games.
Yeah, because it used to be like it would depend on your position for each volley, and then you could switch like the weapon to hit. But I don't know. I think maybe what this means is that if the sword he can strike twice consecutively, and if it scripts three strikes, then one is the pommel. I don't know. I have to read up on that because
That's
I
all
think
right.
that changed a lot in gold. So anyway, it's gonna be easier. So let's go get scripted, I suppose.
Yup, let's do it. Oh, this gonna be a good fight. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'm scripted. Let me check here. His one of his actions. Hang on. I don't
Yep.
know him yet, so I gotta read up.
Yep. No worries.
Oh, hang on, hang on. Okay, now I'm ready.
All right, I am good to go too.
Okay, so what's your first volley?
Volley one, I have scripted two strikes.
Two strikes. Okay, he's got a and you have to declare which action goes first, right? So first
Yes.
action is one, and second action is the other one. So your
Yes.
first action is what?
My first action is a strike, and then my
It's a
second
strike.
action will be a follow-up strike. Just like
Oh,
two quick
that's two strikes. Two strikes.
stabs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. It's stupid because it doesn't really matter. But in my case, he scripted push first and strike second.
Okay.
So let's see how push goes against um, strike. Wait, where's the table? Here's the table.
Push
So
against
it's
strike is a standard power test. The ob is half my speed.
push against
So
strike is a standard power test, and the ob is half your speed. So your speed is 5,
yes.
and I believe there's a little place where it says whether you round up or down. Hang on. It's on page. Oh man, where is this? Fight actions. Here we go. Page 440. Half stat or skill obstacles. Always round up. So it's
Nice.
3. So the ob is
3.
3. And he's testing power versus 3.
Yep. And I will be testing standard skill at an ob of 1.
All
So
right.
strike against the push.
So let's see. Let me do the power test first, I suppose. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because everything's simultaneous.
Yeah, it's all going to happen simultaneous.
All right. So his powers of, let's give him a power of 5, I think.
Sounds fair.
And the ob is 3. So here we go. Ooh, he does not do it.
Nice.
So
That helps. So now
you
I
win the
have.
versus test. Hang on. You win the versus test by 1 or meet your obstacle in a standard test. You start your opponent. If you win the versus, so nothing happens if he misses, right?
Yeah. So now I have my standard test against his ob 1. I
All right.
have a
Wait,
knife
you have it,
skill.
but you have an extra ob because you have the penalty for your
Yes.
first strike
Yes.
action.
Yes. So it's ob 2 altogether. I have
Yep.
a knife skill of B2. I will be forking in brawling,
Mm-hmm.
spycraft wise, and
Mm-hmm.
my bonus dice for positioning. So it gives me 6
All
dice
right.
against the ob 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is a difficult test. Or no, because that was 4, because it's routine test. Yeah. And here we go. Let's see if I can. Ooh,
Whoa. Just one
not good.
success. No.
Okay, I gotta open it up.
All
I gotta do it.
right.
All
All
right, here
right.
it comes. Ooh,
Ooh, keep rolling.
add another. All right, so I get the 2. I
So
get
it's 2.
my
1, 2.
my
So
mark
it's,
damage of B3.
yeah. Okay, now here's the thing. When you hit him, where are you gonna? You have to aim it at whatever his position he says, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna take it on the chest, and as your knife cuts away his shirt, you see that he's actually wearing armor underneath
Ooh.
because he's cheating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm cheating too.
Oh hey,
I do have a point.
yeah, you can't
I
complain too
didn't
much,
make
I
it
guess.
for
Yeah.
the intelligent type to cheat.
Yeah. No, but remember, he's got people behind him, so
Yeah.
they're helping. Fortunately, his armor's not too good. So let's see how this goes. So the way this works is armor rolls, and I subtract armor against the ob of 1 plus the VA of the weapon, which in your case happens to be no VA, so it's an ob of 1. Meeting the obstacle indicates the blow is deflected. If the test has failed, the character is injured by the blow. Any ones on the dice indicate armor damage. One less die is rolled next time. All right. So he's got leather armor on. So it's just a breastplate. So it's armor of 2, and I'm rolling against an ob 1. So let's see.
All right. Come
Oops,
on,
and
good
he does
fortune.
it. He does it. So you see your blade glances off, and he just smiles because he know he's got you now. And so next action.
Next action.
Okay,
Strikes again.
he's got a strike too. So it's strike versus strike.
Which is
So they're
standard op
independent
one.
rolls, right? Yeah, they're
Yep,
independent
standard
rolls.
test op one.
Okay.
So 2 for my knife, 1 for brawling,
Mm-hmm.
2 for my advantage, 1 for my spycraft wise. I'm gonna fork in intimidation and tell him you think that armor fucking scares me. You're still gonna die.
I like it. Okay, so while you figure that out, he's using a poor quality sword. So so that means he has a weapon speed of 2, and that's it. And he has an extra ob to hit because poor quality weapons give you an extra ob. So he has
Okay.
to hit ob 2.
All right.
Right. So let me just roll up his hit while you figure out. Oh, are you ready to hit to roll?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm good to go. I got 7 die.
Well, let me do yours. See what happens.
Okay.
Ooh. So that's actually 4 minus 2 is 2. So he gets
Yep.
a 2. And he's going to go for.
It'll be taking it in the arm unless
In
he
the
wants
arm.
to shift it. Left arm.
Yeah. Um, so let's do.
Which, considering his intent is to kill me,
You maybe should shift it to your chest. Okay, let's shift it to
yeah.
your chest. So I think it's 1 to shift, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
We need like a little diagram of a guy with like the arrows going. 1 moves here, 2 moves there. uh, Hang on. This is an anatomy of injury. Is it, or is it in? No, it's probably
Um,
in the armor section.
I believe it's in the fight section actually.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Page 465. This defender chooses where he wants to get hit. Head, torso, arms, legs. Blah blah blah. It costs 1 success from leg to leg, 2 to go from arm to arm. Um, so I'm thinking it's 1 point just to move
Hmm. Yeah,
from
yeah.
anywhere.
One to go from an arm
Unless,
to a.
yeah, if you cross 2 locations, then it's 2.
Yep.
That makes sense. To go from arm to head would
Hmm.
be like 2. And
Yep.
or
Sounds good. So,
is the head anything special? No, I don't think it is.
no, it's more for where the armor is.
Yeah. All right. So if he does that, then that means that he's gonna hit you with a incidental wound, which is a B4 wound.
Mm. Which is still a superficial. That raises my ob to 2, but not for this roll since this happens simultaneously. I'm only at ob 1
Yes,
for
and
this current
there's
volley.
no steel involved. So
Yep. So I so far have 4 successes on this strike. I'm going
nice.
to go ahead and burn my last fate point and open up that 6. Quit lagging out, Google. There we go. And here it comes. All right, didn't help. Still, I have 4 successes.
Minus
I
one,
will.
so it's 3. No,
Yep.
actually, yeah, it's 3. So you can
Yeah.
either
Three
he's gonna
successes. I'm
he's
going
gonna
to shift from his chest to his arm.
okay. So that takes 1 away. So you
Yep.
still have 2 successes. You can up the damage.
Yep. So that'll up
So
it to a mark hit, correct?
mark hit correct with B5. So
Yes.
which is awesome. Which for him B5 is a light wound.
Nice.
Excellent.
And he has to hit
So he
that health
takes the
test
light.
on, or yeah, that fort test
Uh,
or health test, whichever one for the poison.
all right, all right. And he has to test steel, I believe. So let's see. When
Yes.
he gets a light wound, he immediately gets minus one.
Yep. -1 die.
Minus one die. I think he tests steel because we did it last time. We were testing steel with 1D,
Yep.
and this is takes effect immediately in the next volley. Is that correct? But he has to
Yeah.
do the steal once he's hit. So he
Yeah.
steals now because if he misses,
Then he hesitates.
then he hesitates. All right. So we didn't do the questions on him. So let's do like a steal, like a 5, maybe. Because
Sounds good.
yeah, because 4 is probably what he would get, and maybe +1 because he's used to fighting. So let's call it a 5, and his hesitation is 6, I believe, because it's 10 minus will.
Yep.
It's 6. So that's the ob that he needs to hit, 6, right?
Yes. Ob 6.
With his
And then
5 dice.
he hesitates 1 action for each margin of failure.
And I'm going to give him 1 fate point. Let's see if he needs it. 6, 5, 5, 4. So I'm going to use his 1 fate point and roll an extra dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, but the ob was
Ob was 6.
6. So he
So,
hesitates for 1 action.
yep. He hesitates this next action.
But
Um,
he also has to do the health test.
yes.
So we're going to call that a health of 5. And what's the ob that we're going to use for that poison?
Um.
Ob 3? Ob 4?
Ob 3 sounds good, and then for a higher class wound, it would be higher because more of the poison would be in his system.
Yeah, but you did a mark. We should increase
Oh
that up.
yeah, mark damage. Okay,
You
yeah,
know what?
correct.
You know what? Let's do the whatever the wound damage is. That's the ob.
Okay,
So you did a B5 wound, so that's
yep,
his ob, right?
perfect. Sounds good.
So yeah. So doing his health. So we're saying 5 dice against an ob of 5, and he's only got 1 success. So that means he's gonna hesitate for what? 4 actions?
4 actions
Ouch.
on the poison.
So okay. Uh, do I add that to the already to
Yeah,
his
yeah,
to
that adds
hesitation?
on top of the hesitation that he takes for the light wound.
So it's gonna be for 5. Wow. So you got 5 actions. All right.
5 actions to fuck his world up.
Yes, you do. So he will be standing and drooling,
Yep.
and
So, my next volley I scripted as a counter strike, which since
mhm.
there's no strike, I do nothing.
All right. So that's 1 action down.
Yep, no test, and
What's your reflexes? 5,
4.
4. So you only had 4 actions scripted this combat. So you took
Yeah,
2. This is the third. Okay, you still have 4 to go.
yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
four,
So for this whole next exchange, he's just standing and drooling while I stab him repeatedly.
yeah, but you still have one volley to go, right?
No, my volley 3. I scripted Counter Strike.
Oh,
Counter
okay,
Strike only works against a strike.
that's true.
There's nothing to test if it doesn't. So volley 3
Okay,
is wasted.
all
So
right,
his hesitation for the light wound is now used up on volley 3.
all right.
So now he has the hesitations from the failure on the poison for the
Exactly,
next
which are
4 rounds.
four.
So I've got all 4 actions to just stab the hell out of him. And I can take all 4 with a strike with this Dirk, correct?
Yes, you can. But wait, first was one hesitation. No, wait, you hit him on the second action of volley one. Is that correct?
No.
'Cause you had strike, strike.
I hit him on my. Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
had
you're right.
strike,
That was
strike.
second action of volley 1. So
Yeah.
I
So
had.
what do you
Okay.
have for volley three? No, I
So
mean for volley two. For volley two.
okay. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to sacrifice my volley 3 action to change my volley 2 action
Okay.
because I right now I currently have a void and counter strike.
All right. All
Neither
right.
one's gonna do anything.
Nope.
So might as well scratch off one that won't do anything and get a strike in there. So I'm gonna
Yes.
change volley 2 to strike and
Okay.
sacrifice volley 3.
All right. So it's 1, 2. So he would have the three actions on the next exchange would be stand and drool.
Yep.
All
3
right.
actions on the next.
On the
So
next, if he survives.
yep. And this is ob 1 since he's standing and drooling.
Yes. So,
Oh! Oh!
ouch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. I
Wow.
am at ob 2 as it is though
Why?
for my superficial
Oh,
wound and my disadvantage. So
that's true.
that's 3 successes. I'm assuming since he's standing and drooling, he does not get to choose where it hits.
I think you always do. I think that's like a little safety thing that they have, but it might not be because
Let's,
theoretically you can't do anything. Let's check it
yeah.
right quick.
Yeah, let's look up some hesitation.
And we saw this was in fight, right? Choosing the hit location was in fight.
Yeah, it wasn't fight, the hit location. So for stand and drool, the character is stunned, he does nothing while hesitating. That
Okay,
implies to me he can't maneuver to make sure he takes the hit in the chest.
and that's probably right, but let's read it up because it's got to be. I'm pretty sure these guys have spelled it out. I just want to find a page. I can't find a page anymore.
So on page 453 are the hesitation actions for fight.
Yeah, but where's the hit locations? Is what I want to find. We read that. I remember reading that. Defender declares his posture. It's 465. Oh, it's weapon mechanics. Hmm. That's weird.
Yeah, I would lobby. The way I understand the defender choosing where the attack comes is that
Yeah.
the attack come in and he can choose to, raise his shield or block it with an armored arm or whatnot to make sure that's where the hit goes. But while standing and drooling, it specifically states that he does nothing. So that suggests to me that he can't maneuver to take that shot to the chest.
All right, we'll read up on that later, but we'll do it like that. Okay. So,
Perfect. So I've got 3 successes to spend I'm gonna go ahead and kick that up to a suburb hit.
Yeah, and that's a B7, which is a meaty wound.
Nice.
Nice. So now he's got a meaty on top of that. And meaties are -2 dice.
So he's
So
-3 altogether right now.
now he's -3. Yeah, -3 dice. Ouch, that's pretty bad. Okay, I think you're just one die away from knocking him out, right? Or does the
Um,
are those
I'm looking up. Let's see,
minuses?
bleeding. MIDI. A MIDI wound must be treated before the conclusion of the session, or else the wound becomes a severe wound. The wound ceases to bleed at severe.
Okay,
The
no,
wound begins to bleed as soon as the sleeve starts ticking.
I'm thinking of 0 stats to incapacitation.
Okay, where's that?
Page 488. Wound penalty are subtracted from stats, skills, reflexes, and steel. Health, mortal wound, and circles are not affected. So his stats go down. So we
Yeah.
said
So he's
that
at -3 for all of his stats right now, and if one of those stats drops to a 0, he is incapacitated.
well, speed was 3, didn't we say? When we did the speed test?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we
he's
did.
incapacitated.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kill him.
Coup de grace.
He's
Coup de
incapacitated
grace.
on the ground. Yeah, coup de grace. I'm
Coup de
slitting his
grace.
throat and beating my chest like Tarzan.
Nice.
I would like to
Nice.
make my health. Yeah, I'd like to make my health roll right quick
Sure.
to
Go
recover
ahead.
from this superficial
Go ahead.
that I've got going.
Mm-hmm.
And got it.
Excellent. So
Perfect.
you're at op 0 right now.
Op 0 right now.
Nice.
I'm gonna assume the poison has worn off the blade at this point.
Yeah, let's call it off. Because it
Yeah,
it
call it
worked.
off. Sounds good.
It worked like a charm.
Yeah, it did. It worked perfectly, and I come out of it nonetheless for wear.
Yeah.
All right, so I am immediately going to challenge Bulldog. Get your fat ass down here.
Excellent.
It's time to go. And as I say that, I'm going to take his leather chest plate and put it on myself.
Nice. You do that. Okay, it's reinforced leather.
Yep.
It's just a breastplate though, but it is reinforced leather. Let's call it regular quality. So so you wanna call it here for the night because it's kind of getting late.
Oh yeah, it is already 11, isn't it? Yeah. This sounds like a great stopping point.
Yeah. So let's
go ahead and do right quick.
Let's do Arda. Yeah. So where's Arda on my clippies? Here we go. Arda. Earning fate, beliefs, driving the game forward with a belief.
Yeah, let me pull up my sheet right quick.
Sure.
I know I've been pursuing beliefs. I believe it's 2. I haven't had to worry about any innocence here, but I have been working on escaping.
Yes.
Which is my 3rd belief, and I've been working on making contacts in the underworld.
I'll give you a persona for that because you have established some contacts.
Okay.
I'll give you a persona for the contacts. I'll give you a fate for the trying to escape, and I'll even give you a fate for the innocence because you sort of rescued Griff from the other guys.
Okay.
He's not very innocent, but you kind of came to the rescue of an underdog, so I'll give it to you. Let's see what else. Okay, instincts. Playing an instinct makes life difficult.
I failed a lie when accused.
Okay,
It, it
so
hasn't made life difficult yet, but I feel like that is coming up because that was the failure condition, is that he was keeping it
yeah,
in his pocket for when he needs it.
it's gonna bite you in the ass at some point. Yes. Always be aware of your exit. No, that didn't really come into play, and no animals were harmed during the making of this live play report. So no animals with your instincts. I'm gonna have to figure out how to put those in. I will. I'll
Yeah, and I mean, I doubt I would keep that instinct around too terribly often. I just wanted some kind of humanizing element for the you know
sure. And I mean,
beginning.
I changed my instincts halfway through the game, so I mean,
Yeah,
it's okay if you think of something that you maybe
yeah.
think
That
is more
was just kind of filler.
intriguing,
I was
you can
trying to
do it.
stay away from like the draw my weapon when surprised
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
type ones,
But
just to make things
you could
interesting.
have, you could have an instinct like always help the underdog, or something like that. That'll get you into
Yeah,
trouble real quick, and that
yeah,
might
it will.
come into play more than the animal thing. Although, if not, I'll work it in. It's your character,
Yeah,
you know. Love him to death,
yep.
so whatever
Um,
you find think is cool, you go with that. So let's see. Trait
so
sending me in a new direction.
um, I,
Uh,
I did not invoke any traits.
no, I don't think. And humor, nah, nothing, not a game stopper. We had fun, but no game stoppers. Right
Hmm.
skill, right time, no. Embodiment, persona, we had some good role playing. Mold breaker, workhorse, MVP, personal goals.
That's the only one I could really see. I don't feel I did enough for workhorse.
No.
I could kind of see embodiment, just the way I was playing contacts off each other and trying to
That's
cover
true.
my exit and whatnot. Like I feel like I really got into the spy mindset.
Yeah, I like that. I think you did some very clever and really involved role playing. What with playing them off of each other, you picked
Hmm.
up on that. I wrote it in. I was like, I hope he picks up on all this interaction going on, and
Yep,
you managed to go through it. So yeah, I'll give it to you.
perfect,
Nice.
perfect. So I'm back up to 3 fate and 3 persona,
Yes, pretty good. Pretty good.
and looks like we've got a opening of a fight
Yes, we do.
for
So that'll
next
give me
Monday.
some time uh, to burn Bulldog up. So I'll have and
Perfect.
to think a little bit more about what we're gonna do now. So I hope you like it.
Yeah, yeah, I had fun. So
Yeah,
I do want to end it with donning the armor, calling Bulldog out, and turning around like let my winnings ride.
excellent, excellent. So yeah, we'll do next session next Monday.
Yep,
Um,
and see you Thursday to find out what kind of trouble Arngrim can get in.
yeah, excellent. Let's see what else. Nothing. Just think about it. If you have any criticism, just
Yeah,
let me know, or anything you'd like
I had
changed. You
I
know,
had a really really good time with this.
I like it. I
It
thought,
was a great first experience.
yeah, I think we did a lot of role playing. I wasn't sure if it's going to be too much, but
No. And I
I
mean,
think
the
we did
more role
perfect.
playing, the better. Like, I feel like we got a lot of really good stuff out of a very minimal amount of roles.
Yes, I think we did. All right. So excellent.
Sounds good. Yeah, I will see you Thursday.
Yeah. Take care.
Yep. Take care, buddy.
Bye bye.